afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. Those of you in the far eastern part of the world, welcome those in Japan, in Taiwan, in Malaysia, the ones in Hong Kong, the ones in China, those of you in Indonesia, the ones in Malaysia, the ones in Thailand, the ones also in Australia, all across that part of the universe. We welcome each and every one of you. Of course, most of them listen via our radio app. We have Radio Biafra app on your phone. You can download it. We have it on iTunes. Well, if you have an iPad, you have a laptop at all that, of course, allows you to download applications. You are more than welcome to do so. We are also on BlackBerry. To download BlackBerry app, go to Amazon.com. If you go to Amazon, that is where you have BlackBerry apps. You will be able to find Radio Biafra there. Most of you prefer to listen to us via that very means. We also welcome you. We are also on TuneIn. If you go to tunein.com, download the app. Radio Biafra is also there. We are on streamer.com. We are on streamer.com. STREEMA. We are also on radioforest.net. This evening will not be an exception. Therefore, as always, we pray on this very platform. We say, Our Father, who resideth in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Lead us not into temptation. Deliver us from evil. Deliver us from evil, we pray. We have evil around us. Zoological Republic of Nigeria. Please put this entity of hell to shame. We are gathered this evening to listen to your word and to your gospel. We are gathered that you may bless your inheritance. We are gathered to remind you that you live it forever and ever. Your abode is heaven, this very earth, your footstool. To remember your children and come to their rescue. To look upon our affliction, our suffering, our pain and anguish. To look at us gnashing our teeth. To see the subjugation and the degradation your children endure on a daily basis at the hands of those who don't even know you. At the hands of those who are not worthy to be called your children. That wasn't your intention for us. That was not your plan, because you wish that we shall live in peace, in harmony with progress and development. But those that surround us are today our lords and our masters, not through any device or capability of theirs, because they tried to invade us before but failed due to your grace. It is through the white man that brought Christianity with them. They gave us the Bible, they handed us over to Quran. That is exactly what they have done, precisely what's against the rule book. We ask you to please come and be merciful. Come and be kind to your children. We are here waiting earnestly for this very miracle that you are performing in our time. We must also thank you for all the wonderful things you have been able to use us to accomplish and to be able to do. Because all over the world today, there is Biafra everywhere. Without your mercy, without the fortitude and the grace which you gave to IPOB, Radio Biafra, the whole world today will know about you and who you are. As we said, the more you bless us, the more we spread your gospel, the more humanity understands who you are. The more they will know your name, more they will come to revere it. Because as we said, through us mankind shall see it. That is why we are the light of the whole world. That is why we exist. That is why we have brought light where there is darkness. That is why anywhere there is hopelessness, especially in the damnable zoological republic, we bring hope. Where there is destitution, we bring succor. Where there is homelessness, we provide shelter. Where there is anguish, we try as much as possible to enjoy. Where there is acute marginalization, we try to bring in inclusion. We have come that this gospel may nourish the souls of those without hope. They may nourish the hopes and the souls of those of them with nobody to turn to apart from thee. Don't turn us away in your anger. We have fallen short, of course, because we are sinful. We are born of flesh, and we have to be. But due to your mercy, you lifted us up. You cleansed us. You made us whole once again. And we are here to preach this gospel, that your name and your name alone may be praised. That Biafra will come in the end. That everything that lives on the surface of this very planet will look towards the east. And there we can see the goodness of this dear God. We can see his holiness. We can see his might and his strength. Because if the whole world were to conspire against your creation, you are creation yourself, you will prevail against them. Come and fight for us, because we cannot fight. Come and drive away the enemy of your children, because they outnumber us. Come and restore your inheritance, because the guardians of your inheritance, we know who you are. We know the name that even the angels that surround you right now, what they call you. We know they worship you. We know that very well. At the end, only you and you alone will accept every of our prayer. Anytime we bend down on our bended knees to pray to you, anytime we lift up our hands in prayer or in praise, anytime we cry for joy or in pain and anguish, because we are seeking one favor or the other before you, everything that we hear today, that we were yesterday, unlikely to become the future, we unremittingly and unreservedly hand over to you for your safekeeping, because we are nothing without thee. All be but I need you, but only one in a chin can answer you, so that I answer his zip. I am man. Go soup with one baby. Nay, when I yank the preacher, now mess my chineke, and on limited to me upon the indigenous people of Biafra, soup where room baby. Nay, when I yank the preacher. No, them monkey. Now goes into you preach on your neck. God, you didn't tell me. So we are room baby. He said, towards the end of that prayer, I had to pray in the language of heaven. You must give me, if you didn't quite understand that. I was in communion with the angels of heaven.
He said, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world. I greet you according to your time zone, wherever you are watching from. While you are joining us, share the video, invite others to join. We are live and direct. We are live and we are direct. It is 15 minutes before the top of the hour. We are a little bit late. My apologies for that. While you are joining, are you joining on YouTube? Are you joining on Facebook? Are you joining on Twitter? Retweet the video, follow the Twitter page or X page. On YouTube, don't forget to like the video. Once you join us, you like the video, the algorithm will continue to do the sharing. You can as well do the sharing on Facebook. Don't forget to click that like and love buttons. It is a sort of motivation. Great and wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom, we are here once again to continue to do the needful, to continue to preach the gospel in the footsteps of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu Hadika, one of Biafra land, whom the court has set free, but Nigeria government decided to do what they do best. Nigeria government decided that they will introduce a system of colonial age and call it stay of execution. It is a colonial age system. They actually implemented it just to actually deal with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Just like I have forgotten initially, that was a similar thing that happened to the great man of South Africa. His name is Robert Sebukwe. It was not Mandela. It was not, I know people wrote so many names, but his name is Robert Sebukwe. He was a great man. He was the man that his wisdom is no match to anyone. And that is the reason why they eliminated him. Robert Sebukwe was actually, taken in, arrested because of his philosophical approach, and because of his great wisdom, because of his teaching, because of his influence, because of his freedom fighting. He was taken in by apartheid government in South Africa. When they discovered that the court set him free, they amended a constitution, or they actually enacted a policy. And that policy is well known as Robert Sebukwe's Act. Robert Sebukwe's Act. The policy was to continue to detain him in the solitary confinement where he was placed. And the same thing that is happening to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. The court of a competent jurisdiction with a 3-man panel read, and I quote, that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is discharged and acquitted, and Mazen Nnamdi Kanu cannot be tried in any court in Nigeria because she does not have any jurisdiction to try any case against him. Rather, Nigeria government should compensate him for the act of terrorism meted against him from Kenya to Nigeria to the DSS dungeon and to Nigeria court, and the beating he received. They said that he must be compensated. They decided to implement the colonial policy called stay of execution. The reason why I continuously use this term, colonial policy and colonial language, it is because we are in that era where we need to, continuously emancipate ourselves and escape from this Western hegemony and their colonial rules. But what you are seeing in Nigeria, they are embracing the colonial rule. They are embracing the colonial practices. They are embracing them because Nigeria does not believe in forwardness. Nigeria does not believe in radical economic transformation. Nigeria does not believe in African freedom. Nigeria does not believe in the growth of the people. Nigeria does not believe in freedom. Nigeria does not believe in growth and economic stability. Nigeria does not believe in it because Nigeria is actually bamboozled by the colonial manipulations and colonial ruling. Therefore, Nigeria decided that they will continue where the British colonizers stopped. And that is the reason why, if you look around you in African continent, you will understand that it is only in Nigeria you will find the leaders who are not actually going through the direction where other leaders in Africa is going, trying to emancipate their people, trying to enact policy that is not controlled or manipulated by the Western hegemony, but Nigeria is actually promoting and propelling the Western hegemony in Nigeria, because the last time we understood that Nigeria was not created for anybody that is actually found in it. Nigeria is created for the profit for Britain. And that is the reason why we have come to continue where our parents, our ancestors, stopped. Our ancestors fought and died for this cause that we have embarked upon, because this cause is a cause that is just. Our ancestors, our parents died for it. And from their remnant and through their ashes, we were raised to continue to make sure that we do not allow their death to amount to nothing. That is the reason why we are here to continuously preach the gospel of freedom, the gospel of emancipation, the gospel of economic transformation of our people, the gospel that we decolonize our minds, that we may see the bigger picture and the future ahead of us. The gospel that will enable us to control our future, the gospel that will enable us to write our history, the gospel that will enable us to actually do and promote our cultural value and value system, the gospel that will take us back to our heritage, because as you may see, we have discontinued from our heritage, and that is the reason why we are here, to make sure that we locate our heritage and make sure that we are independently pursuing it. We are the people who are blessed by the God Almighty Chukwu Okike Abiama, about stamina. He blessed us with intelligence. He blessed us with entrepreneurial mindset. He blessed us in many ways that Britain saw it. They decided that no, we cannot allow these people to thrive, because if these people are actually free, they will open the eyes of every other African nation. And of course, that is exactly what Britain has achieved. But we are standing right now to say enough is enough. They will no longer continue to delay our future, delay our economic transformation and growth. They will no longer control our destiny, because our destiny was given to us by Chokikayama. And we will continue. So, this evening, morning, afternoon, and night, depending on where you are watching from, you are watching on the media platforms under the leadership of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the greatest man of our time. In the absence of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, you find the structure that he enacted, which is known as the DOS, Department of State. Those who run the day-to-day activities of IPOB in the absence of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, Ahmadike One, led by Mazi Dike Doziem, and they've been piloting the affair of this struggle prior to the time of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's ordeal, because the enemy, the only thing that they wanted was to destroy IPOB, because they feel so worried and they challenge themselves. Even, when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said that you will never destroy this IPOB, not in 1,000,000,000 years, Britain decided to bring up their colonial mindset and actually lend it to Nigeria to see if they will destroy this IPOB. But we are proving them wrong. It is because of their ignorance. They cannot see the bigger picture. They cannot understand what time is it, because they believe that all black Africans are still in kindergarten, that they have not graduated from early childhood development. That is the reason why Britain is doing what they are doing. They have tried to destroy this IPOB, because they know that once you give some black people money, they will turn against themselves. They will start killing themselves. But we have proven them wrong, that it is not all black people. There are people with dignity. There are people with conscience. People who are determined that they may achieve the freedom for their children, that they may achieve the freedom for the next generation, that when they come back to this life, they will be remembered for their work. It is not about what you live for. It is about what you died for. And we want to actually die for what is pleasant to Chukikabiyam, and that is the freedom of his people. That is the reason why we have gathered here today, regardless of any circumstances, against all odds. We must continue. And it is very, very imperative that we remind our enemies that we are not backing down, regardless of whatever you throw at us. If you kill one, another one will grow. If you take out one grass, another will grow. We are not a cash crops. We are like a weed. You will never root us off. Even if you decide to put a weed killer, after some years, the weed will start coming out again. We can never be, extinct in the face of this earth. Most importantly, the formidable Biafrans under the leadership of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they have done a great job in the past 24 months when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been in the solitary confinement. That is something that scares them the most, because they could not achieve their plan. They started with the internal enemy, and the internal enemy decided to bring all his formation, all his tactics, all his lies, manipulations, all those things he brought and threw it at us. But at the end of the day, we'll always emerge victoriously, because we are fighting a just cause. We have not come to take anybody's belonging or anybody's destiny, but we have come to make sure that our freedom is rest assured, and so shall it be. It is very, very important. This morning, evening, afternoon, and night, we are going to be looking into this thing. The poster right in front of you. Number one, you will see the image of African Union members, and you will see the image of British Prime Minister. you will see the image of our leader, Nnamdi Kanu. You will see the image of Dangote. You will also see the image of the military soldiers who died, young and vibrant military people who wasted their lives in the name that they are serving the country that was not created by their ancestors. In the name that they are serving a country that never existed, that God in heaven does not know its existence. In the name they are serving a curse called Nigeria. In the name they are serving a country that does not understand the value of human life. In a country that human life is amount to nothing. That is the country that they actually are serving and die for. Look at these young militaries. Their future is still in front of them. They are gone. Maybe some of them, if they are married, their children are now fatherless. Their wife is now a widow because they have decided to take up an oath to serve a country that is created by a white man from Europe who died more than for many years ago. Who died, I believe he died more than 4 decades ago, more than 5 decades ago, even maybe 8 decades ago, that the white man's initiative that died very many years ago is still being propelled in that area of sub-Saharan Africa called Nigeria. They died because of an initiative that they do not know whose. On the other hand, in the middle, you will see the nations that are made up of the acronym called Brics. B stands for Brazil, R stands for Russia, I stands for India, C stands for China, S stands for South Africa. The only African country that is standing tall amongst men. And you have seen a lot of achievement ever since this BRIC invention. I'm going to show you the benefits that some of them have started benefiting from this alliance. On the other hand, it is the junta, the coup leader of Niger Republic, and there is something that they call African Union. There is something African Union said today, or yesterday rather, about the coup leader and about the coup in Sub-Saharan. And that will bring us to what I said in my last video. In my second to the last video, the video I did in the car, where I talked about Sokoto Caliphate, where I talked about Sokoto Caliphate and the unification of these people. And we are going to contextualize it with this comment coming from African Union. Let us begin. First of all, we are going to start with Dangote. Remember that we had that, and we're supposed to finish that Dangote news 3 days ago or 2 days ago, but we couldn't finish the topic. That is the richest man in Africa, a successful businessman from Nigeria, a successful businessman from the northern part of Nigeria, according to what we know about him. But to my greatest surprise, Nnamdi Kanu has been saying that there is something about Dangote that is very, very, that we need to know, question, and that is the reason why we have decided to bring this news. It is not our making, it is not our news, it is a news coming out of Nigeria. That is exactly what I am about to bring to you. There was a petition, or there is a petition that as we speaking right now is sitting on the table of Mr. President Tinubu. The petition coming from Nigerians sitting on the table of Tinubu. The petition is all about calling on Mr. Tinubu to make sure that he deals with a probe. Let me bring that news to your front. I don't know what is happening. We are having a lot of distraction on this screen. I don't know if it is a reception or what, but I can see we are having some challenges. Let me read what is written in this article about the great Dangote, the richest man in Africa. Just one moment. Let me bring it in front of us. All right, let me read. President Tinubu receives petition against Africa's richest man, Dangote, over $3.4 billion. $3.4 billion siphoned through Nigeria's central bank. $3.4 billion siphoned through Nigeria's central bank. This is a news coming out of Nigeria, and if you look at it, we have been, we talked about the refinery that Dangote built, and I believe that there is something about the refinery that is here. And for you to see how evil and deceitful Nigeria is, the impostor in Asorok, who just, the so-called President Emeritus from Nigeria, whom went and opened a refinery that is uncompleted. Just because he want to do something, he went and commissioned a refinery that is not completed. And such refinery, where did the funds come from? The funds used to build this refinery. Let us continue to read. Maybe we will find something, we will discover something that we are going to use to answer that question. Let us continue. The petition accused Dangote of grossly violation of the forex guideline of the CBN for years. Did you hear that? For years. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has received a petition against Africa's richest man, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, over $3.4 billion allegedly siphoned through the Central Bank of Nigeria. The petition exclusively obtained by Politics Nigeria. Nigeria was attached to a letter addressed to President Tinubu and filed by Ahmed Fahad, a social justice advocate. A social justice advocate. That is the man who filed this report. I hope you are seeing it. I hope you are reading it. Let us read it together. Let us increase. Now let's continue. The petition exclusively obtained by Politics Nigeria was attached to a letter addressed to President Tinubu and filed by Ahmed Fahad, a social media activist. It was dated August 18, which is few days ago, 2023, entitled Petition to President Tinubu Against Dangote and copied to Jim Obaze, who was recently appointed by the president as a special investigator to probe the Central Bank of Nigeria and related entities. The petition accused Dangote of grossly violating the forex guideline of the CBN for years. This is the copy. This here, it is the petition. The highlighted part is the petition against Tinubu, against Dangote. It alleged that the suspended CBN governor Godwin Emefiele borrowed $1 billion from Afrexim Bank in the second quarter of 2023, out of which $750 million was illegally funneled to Dangote at a concessionary rate. Borrowed to Dangote at a concessionary rate. Now, the most important question we need to be asking this present government, that is everything that is related to central bank, everything that the decision making that was actually made by Central Bank of Nigeria was made under the regime of Buhari. Was made under the regime of Buhari, the so-called Buhari in Aso Rock. So when you look at the activities of these people that call themselves that they are fighting corruption, and if there is anything that is going to be carried out in the central bank, we know that the executive is everywhere in Nigeria. Executive is everywhere in Nigeria. There is no place that the executive does not place their nose in, including the judiciary. If executive is manipulating the activities of the judiciary, what about where the money is? What about where they secure the bag? Why aren't they following up there? Now, for you to know that every crime they are saying that Emefiele committed, they should be standing Buhari in front, the so-called Buhari in front, and standing Emefiele at the back. But where is Buhari? Under his regime, all this corruption were actually, done. Where is he to come and tell us under his regime, amount of money such as this were siphoned and given to Dangote from the central bank under his watch? So why are we being one-sided in trying to tackle crime? Who actually authorize what the, Remember that financial institutions, or will I say the Reserve Bank of Nigeria, remember that they are not part of the arm of government. Therefore, executive can do anything they want. The executive controls them. They are not an arm of government in Nigeria. Therefore, they are not independent. They are under the executive rules. So how come Dangote was given such amount during the regime of Buhari, and the only person that is suffering all these things is now central bank governor Emefiele? Why is it only him that is now indicted in all this crime? Where is the president emeritus? Where is the president that actually commissions all these things? Where is he? Now, let us continue. Therefore, it urged the president investigate the flagrant violation of our financial laws. It reads, I bring to your attention a scandalous issue of gross financial misconduct and illegality involving the Dangote Group, a flagrant abuse of the Central Bank of Nigeria CBN Forex guideline for the past 10 years, 1 decade. In the last 10 years, no wonder he is African richest. First, exposed by Dr. Ope Banwo of Change Vigilantes International (CVI) in his 2016 petition to former president. Have you now seen that the former president is actually part of this corruption? He cannot escape it. If he escapes it, it means that the Emefiele can escape it as well. Have you now seen? If the president emeritus escaped this probe, it means that Emefiele is innocent. Because Nigeria, that is actually the evidence of Nigeria for what it is. They don't treat people equally. They treat people differently. When it comes to fighting crime and corruption, some other people will be exempted from allegations, from trial, from investigation. They will be exempted. Just like the imposter in Asorok is now being exempted. The reason why I know that Tinubu will not go that side to call up the man that was in Asorok few minutes or few months ago, it is because it was not Buhari. It was not Buhari. That is the reason why they are actually not calling him to come up and explain himself. All these corruption charges that is against him, where is it coming from? But because Buhari is no more. Buhari died in 2017, buried in Saudi Arabia, and you were ruled for many years, for 5 years, by an impostor in Asorok. And when you look at yourself as a Nigerian, you will be proud of yourself as a Nigerian. There is something fundamentally wrong with you. Now, they said that Buhari was informed. Buhari was aware of all this. Let me read it again. First exposed by Dr. Ope Banwo of Change Vigilantes International. In his 2016 petition to former President Buhari. Did you hear that? Former President Buhari. So it means that the former president swept it under the carpet. That is the reason why he ran, because you know that he will run and act like we have built a refinery under President Buhari's regime. There is now a running refinery. He ran and commissioned unfinished refinery, which was built by Nigerian money. But no one will give you the account of how that money is paid back, whether it is paid or not. President Buhari, Emefiele cannot be jailed or cannot be tried without president that was there, that he was working under him. If it happens, it is selective, well, I call it selective amnesia or selective justice. That's exactly what I will call it. If it happens, it means that they are selective in their fighting of crime. They are not fighting crime. Let us continue. It noted that the brazen illegality involves a shocking violation of CBN guideline, causing a US dollar 3.4 billion diversion from Nigeria National Treasury at rate between 150 and 200 US dollars, when the parallel exchange rate was more than double that. Wow. So they did this corruption through exchange rate. It is like now the dollar rate is in Nigeria maybe 800 or 850, and they decided, no, we will give it to him maybe we will give it to him 200 and 300. That's where this money, how the money was siphoned. Now, it is a pure corruption. When the parallel exchange was more than double that amount, this insidious financial maneuvering still threatened the very stability of our country, of their country economy, even today. Wow. Outstandingly, this flagrant siphoning was carried out using Form A instead of the legal route through Form M, which is tantamount to a gross violation of the law as it offers no financial returns to our country. The barefaced audacity of this financial transgression is further displayed by several implicated banks which have audaciously sanctioned millions of dollars at the CBN rate to the Dangote Group. They have been using Dangote Group to siphon money abroad. But people does not know. People did not know. Let us continue. In direct violation of CBN instruction to source funds from the parallel or interbank market. This unscrupulous action facilitated the illegal transfer of funds for supposed foreign investment, including the supposed construction of factories in countries like Congo and Liberia. They are using Nigerian money. They are using you and I funds to go and build personal businesses in other countries. And when they're done building these personal businesses, you and I will be running away, dying in Mediterranean Sea. You and I will be running away, dying in the Sahara Desert. But somebody, one person, has been siphoning this money, going about answering the African richest man from a poor, where people are dying of poverty every day because of malnutrition, where there is no hospital, where there are all over the place dilapidated road. Every day they will claim they are building a road infrastructure, but when you go to that road, once one rain comes, second rain comes, third rain, the road is dilapidated. This is exactly what these people are doing. Now the real money is what they are using to siphon and invest in our businesses in other places and making it a personal business, not even a state business. They make it a personal business just because they are using these businesses and these companies to siphon money to other countries. Have you now seen what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was exposing? This is the reason why they have said, bring him, let us deal with him. And they took Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and they placed him in solitary confinement, and they continue their criminal activities. They continue their siphoning of funds. They continue the embezzling of funds. They continue their crimes and corruption because they believe that there is nobody there. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who controls millions, is no longer there to talk about them. They progressively continued in their crime. And you will now find out that this case will still be swept under the carpet. You will find this case being swept under the carpet very, very soon. You will no longer hear about it. It's either they will go and sort out the person who wrote the petition by cash or by dealing with him, or they will sweep it under the carpet through the government of the day. According to the petitioner, the funds were moved out of Nigeria with the alleged unlawful aim of industrial development in the other nations, while our own country was left bare feet of this much needed investment. Wow. It is true. That is the truth. The country was left in a barefoot going to buy shoes from other nations. People are dying of non-employment. That's why they are dying in Mediterranean Sea and the Sahara Desert. Can you imagine? Just because somebody is becoming African richest, coming from the zoo called Nigeria, will ever a great thing come out of the zoo called Nigeria? The answer is no. I want you to understand the height of their corruption. Billions of dollars every day. Billions of dollars every day. But today you are buying petrol 750 naira. They are claiming that they can no longer pay. They can no longer pay the subsidy. Remember that the shout of buying petrol 750 naira is gone down. Because you are a black man. Once you buy it 1 month, you forget. You will say, I will learn how to navigate it. We are managing. We are managing. That is the way it is. If it stayed there for the next 6 months, you will get used to it. And that's it. Because you do not know how to fight for your problem. Consistency is the key to fight every boogeyman. Because they will threaten you in so many ways, or they will give you bogus promises that they will attend to your problem. At the end of the day, you continuously be in that particular problem without being solved. That is exactly what's going on. You will see a case like this. All of you in Nigeria are supposed to come out, because this is the reason why your people are dying in Mediterranean Sea, to expose it and ask the government, why is it this only one person that will be siphoning money that will build industries in several states in Nigeria? Why is it only this person? Is he the only businessman in Nigeria? Are there no business people from Oduduwa Republic? Are there no business people from Biafra land? Why is it only one man siphoning $3.something billion? How much is in the reserve of the bank of this man called Dangote? How much is he worth? How much is he worth? When I think in 2010-11, Dangote only worth, I believe, less than $5 billion. His worth was less than $5 billion. So how come today? So he siphoned $3.4 billion. That is almost his worth. So it means that what he is having is Nigerian money. Every president that comes into power favors him. Obasanjo favored Dangote. Buhari now siphoned the whole Nigerian money with Dangote. Is he the only citizen in Nigeria? I am not being prejudiced against him, but I am being realistic about the activities of these people and how you have remained quiet about it. And today, you will come out tomorrow and say, no, we have this country. It is the only country we have. One Nigeria. There is one Nigeria. Let us build this country. How can you build the country when you see the problem that is making your children to run and die in Mediterranean Sea? You sweep it under the carpet. Yet you are telling me to belong in your one Nigeria. It is not possible. It is absolutely not possible. Nobody is bigger than other people's corruption. Nobody is indispensable. Nobody, including your president. Because your president, you put him in the position of leadership. He did not put himself. Of course, we know they put themselves, but they claim you put them. Since they claim you put them, control them, tell them what you need them to do. Since they claim you put them, but they know you did not put them. And you, that they claim that you are the one who placed them there, You are not even taking the eye. We put you now, do this. Since you claim we put you, this is how we want this government to run. This is how we want you to recognize the people on the ground. They will not. Because you are from Nigeria. Because you are black man. 1 month, 2 months, you forget. Life goes on. And that is very, very bad. That will never bring a growth or economic transformation. Radical. You will never achieve it. If you continue in this your mindset, you have a weak mindset. You are weak. That is the reason why they will continue to send you to go and die in the Mediterranean Sea, or using a rubber boat to cross to Europe. You capsize, you get drowned, eaten up by sharks. Many of you, your parents does not even know where you are. That is the reason why they will send soldiers to go and die. The soldiers will be fighting bare hands, and they will all die. Young and able-bodied young men and women, they will die because they are under-equipped. Where is the funds are going? The funds are being given to riches. The rich man continue to get richer. The poor man continue to die of malnutrition, of lack of hospital, lack of, infrastructural development. You see accident scene everywhere. Who are attending to this accident scene? It is unprofessional people, ordinary people, children, women, men. They are being traumatized. We saw an accident few days ago when even there is a decapitated, is it, where people's body parts are actually, on different places. People are hanging on top of the bus where they have accident, dead with blood gushing. People bodies were all over the place. Who were attending to the scene of the crime? It is ordinary people, not even an ambulance. In an accident as bad as that one, people were looking for a iron to break the car to actually save the people who are still breathing. By the time they will actually cut the car, those people will die. They will have agglutination of blood. They will die because there is no ambulance, no paramedics. There is no contingency plan put in place to make sure that they secure people's life on the road. But they are taking $3.8 billion and giving to one man. When he is done, it is his family, he call it his empire, Dangote empire. More worryingly, there are several instances, such as in Liberia, where promised factories were never built. The siphon funds were instead reportedly transferred to Dangote's account abroad, thereby exploiting from A for illicit cash movement that cannot be reclaimed by our country. Have you now seen they use big people, celebrities, to siphon money to their offshores? That's what they do. They use them to siphon money to their offshores. Why do you think Nigeria's celebrities are very rich? It is this. They use them to siphon money to offshores. They take their own shares. You think it's a joke? It is not a joke. That is the way it is. They don't know what to do with money because they are being used. They are the people who are movers of cash. Because, of course, nobody will ask a celebrity, what do you do for a living? Even a celebrity, you know that they have never received any gig in the last 2 years. They will be doing money stuff. You will be wondering, where did this celebrity, where are they getting this money? You will be wondering. You will not know. Because some of you now, when people talk, you will say, no, you are jealous of this celebrity because you are a black. You will say, no, he's jealous of the celebrity. That's why he's talking about him. Because you are black. You will not know the game they are playing. And you will be there dying in poverty. However, the funds were bought and transferred from National Treasury with the CBN, which was illegal. under the regime of imposter. When Mazen Nnamdi Kanu told Nigeria that Nigeria is on autopilot, did you know what is going on? Autopilot. When anything is on autopilot, there is no control. People will be, doing whatever they want. Nigeria was on autopilot. The autopilot was oversighted by Garba Shehu and amongst other cabals in Aso Rock. On a continued basis over the years and contrary to the approval, MFL CBN continue illegally supplying money from Nigeria Treasury at cheaper rate to Dangote Group. This is an illegality that must be righted, it says. Now, the most important thing now, if he was transferring this money illegally to Dangote Group, and Buhari claimed he was fighting corruption, that means MFLA must also know that there is an impostor in Aso Rock. MFLA, if they want you to answer this crime alone, tell them who is the impostor in Aso Rock. Tell Nigeria who is the impostor in Aso Rock. Because I know you will know. Because of course, I know you will know who the impostor is. You tell them who is this impostor in Aso Rock. Only if you want to answer for this crime alone. Only if you want to answer it alone. Because we know you did not commit it alone. There was accomplices. There was a commander. A commander was there. It added, for instance, in 2015, from A number AA254175 was used to transfer over 341 million through a telegraphic transfer, EcoBank, in contravention of CBN directive to use interbank funds only for the Dangote project in Cameroon, whilst on February 12, 2016, from A number AA2649426 was used to transfer over 420 million for spare parts in Congo, also in contravention of the CBN directives. To further highlight the brazenness of this action, it recently came to light that the suspended CBN governor Godwin Emefiele had borrowed USD 1 billion from Afrexim Bank in the second quarter of 2023, USD 750 million USD, of which was illegally funneled to Dangote at concessionary rate. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Wow. Wow. Oh. Nigeria is not created to work as a nation. It is created to be a profit for some people. And it is serving that purpose of profit for some people correctly. That's the reason why we are seriously calling for the disintegration. Under this Nigeria, your future, the future of your children are being sacrificed by, the group of cabals who call themselves the owner of Nigeria. They are the people who own Nigeria. They are the people. Are we kicked out? Are we kicked out of Facebook or what? 1 minute. Wow. Yes, we are kicked out of Facebook. How come? One moment, let us actually connect back to Facebook. Those of you watching on YouTube, one moment. Even YouTube is dealing with us decisively. We know YouTube is dealing with us decisively. But we will win. No going back. YouTube did not even update. YouTube did not update our topic. Wow. They could not update our topic. No wonder. Let's place things in order before we come on live. We know that our people are watching on Twitter. Yes, I believe we are back on Facebook. Kindly share the video. We are kicked out on Twitter, so I will not connect back to Twitter. Those watching on Twitter, kindly join us on Facebook and YouTube. YouTube is at Judge Money Blog Africa, Judge Money Blog on Facebook. So we are not going to connect back to Twitter. Let us manage what we have to see if we are going to hold. So great and wonderful people of Biafra, if you are joining us on Facebook once more, kindly share the video, alert others to join. I believe I was actually rounding up with the issue of Dangote. I was actually concluding the issue of Dangote, but just better because the issue of that case is going to be on the first link and the first link alone. While you are joining this link, share it again. Invite every other person to join. Invite them to join. Share the link once more. Share the link once more. Invite them to join as we proceed. Share the link. Where are we?